I stopped the stream. I started a new stream because I do what I want. Because I need a new stream because I screwed up the first time. Because I have to remember to pause Backblaze and Dropbox before I start. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Life is yours. Hello. You're just in time for me to start the real stream. I definitely didn't start a fake stream a second ago. Totally didn't do that. This is definitely the real stream. Definitely just started. Oh no, what time is it where you are? It's like 4 in the morning or something. I even set the low latency. Oh, midnight 30. That's not so bad. I set the low latency just for you. The thing today I'm excited about. I would have started streaming earlier. You hear that? That's the sound of silence. I would have started streaming earlier, but the roofers who've been working on the roof for the past week or 2 weeks, or I don't even know how long anymore, just like, it's a group of people who were hired to get on the roof and just stomp and smash things and make noise all day. And yes, I can react to what you say and you can react to what I say. Today, just to mix things up, the roofers, one of their hobbies, so first they just smashed stuff on top of the roof and made noise all day. And then that wasn't noisy enough. So they started smashing things on the roof and then throwing the things over the side of the building. And I live on the second floor, and they eventually just, I guess this was the roof, the old roof. There was just a giant pile of smashed wood. And so I got to hear the smashing upstairs and the piling on the side. But today, just to mix it up, they decided to go to the side of the building and smash everything over there. So very exciting day. But I think it's finally quiet. Is it quiet? The roof smashers are done smashing. So let's see, what's been going on? Yesterday we streamed and we worked on the sun and we did some look development, let's call it. Where are you, son? Yeah, we did some what you might call look development. Wrote a kind of cartoony shader, cleaned some things up a little bit. The opposite of smashing, I guess? I don't know what they're doing up there. They took away a bunch of roof, and you would expect that they would have to put some new roof. I don't know. Are they just gonna leave? Like, what's going on above me now? I don't know. Presumably I still have a ceiling, so there's still something above my head. Anyway, we worked on this. I still wasn't quite sure what was going on in the winter. I know, and it's in Portland, so it's always rainy and horrible. So that's actually helped me out because when it does rain, that causes them to be quiet sometimes. So that's good news. Last night, to get some outer space inspiration, I decided to play No Man's Sky for a while, and I don't think I like that game. It did not. I feel like it didn't inspire me. And Draclin was in the chat. Man, he super didn't like it. But somehow it came together. I don't know if it was this morning or late last night. The thing that we need to do with this to land it. It came to me. It's very simple. Here's what's going to happen. The sun, yeah, this shader. It's a pretty simple little cartoony shader plus a outlined shader, and it renders not exactly in 2 passes because you can only have single pass shaders in the low definition render pipeline, but kind of in 2 passes. 2 totally separate render passes instead of like multiple passes on a single thing. And I think I like it. I don't know. I'm still not 100% convinced I want to do this flat thing. The way that it works is super duper simple. This thing. Like all it is just saying, let's calculate some light and then kind of round it up or down. Very easy. Like we could just do this and it would be more like diffusey. Ooh, it's a little intense. Actually, I kind of like that. It looks insane. Not what I meant to do. Why does that look so crazy? Probably because I multiplied. I don't know, something like that. So we still may do this. I don't know. I kind of like this too. I'm not convinced one way or the other. The thing that may decide it for me is post-processing effects, actually. Because I might say that if we are into the post-processing, is there an update to the lightweight render? Still preview. What's new in it? I'm getting too distracted already. Okay, let's start by installing post-processing. Great. I mean, let's go see what's new in the lightweight render pipeline. It must be new since like yesterday. A very good changelog. The changes are nothing. Nothing new. You can now inject a custom render pass before rendering opaque objects. To do so, implement an eye before render interface. Why didn't anyone tell me about that? That was even on the 13th. So wait, 4.8.0 did nothing. We're at 4.9.0, so they just haven't been updating this. So if I can do eye before render, if I can do it that way, then I don't have to do any of the stencil buffer stuff. So much of what we were fighting with was rendering outlines as a secondary pass meant that we had to do all this stenciling stuff, which wasn't super hard, but it added complexity. Whereas if we could just render everything before, man, well, but now there's things I like about our new approach that I don't think I want to go back. That's a little annoying. I guess I should have paid a little more attention here. Okay, cool. Good to know. Anyways, let's update to this and just assume that it's better. Because it's obviously better. Brain mist. I've been having some brain fog. I had like a 2-week sinus thing where my brain was just in fog mode. I gotta shake it off. I've gotta like get going. Work is starting to happen. I have a workshop in like 9 days that I'm supposed to teach that. Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about this today. I got to come up with something. Maybe I'll practice on stream. Okie dokie. So brain mist is where the brain turns into mist. But what about, what am I thinking? You know, you ever see the movie Joe versus the Volcano? It's not a good movie, but it's a great movie. The plot is that there's a guy who goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, you have a brain cloud. I think it's a brain cloud, and you're going to die. And so you should go throw yourself into a volcano because you have a brain cloud and there's no point in going on. And then it turns out that the doctor actually has a deal, I think, with the tribe that needs the volcano sacrifice. This scene, the shot of him in front of the moon, I think is great. It's a bad movie, but I really like it. It should have a cult comeback. I think it's time. That doesn't mean I want to watch it necessarily, but it's pretty good. But this is what I think of. Look at Tom Hanks' hair. Oof. There's like 3 Meg Ryans in this movie, maybe 4. It's not even that it's bad necessarily. It's pretty weird. I wonder actually. I don't even have a sense of like. Like who would you go to for reviews of a movie that old? What does Rotten Tomatoes say? 62%? Audience score is low. It's weird, and I like how weird it is, personally. I'm into it. Anyway, I've been struggling also with a brain cloud. Is it bad? Is it possible to have a bad Tom Hanks movie? I think there's probably some. Especially if you go back, this is when? It's 1990. This movie's almost 30 years old. There's probably some bad Tom Hanks movies, right? I would imagine. Anyway, let's go back to the cartoon version, which is just basically rounding a light calculation. This is the other one that I just didn't like. That was like a multi-stepped thing. I kind of like it, but I'm not that into it. So we're going to stick with this one for now. Okay, actually I changed my mind again. I keep changing my mind. Let's go back to this for just a moment. Only because I want to just throw on post-processing and quickly just decide if I like it. Because if I want like a glowy post-processing kind of effect, I probably don't want to do this flat cartoony world. You know? Steps of steps. Yeah, did I even use step for that? Actually, I used step for this function just for the... How do I describe this? I wish you could kind of do steps of steps. This is just a trick where you can round to the nearest fraction. So you're taking this smooth value, and then if you want to round it to the nearest eighth, you multiply it times 8, round it, and then divide by 8. And that gives things in like discrete steps of gradation. When you actually use step, the step function in, I guess that's a GL, OpenGL function. It's more than that, GLSL function. And it's a thing that GPUs know about. And it just says, take two numbers. Here's a number that's like a threshold. I think it's called the edge. And then here's the number that's the value you want to compare. And if it's below the edge, set it to 0. And if it's above the edge, set it to 1. So it's kind of like a yes or no question in that case. There's also something called a smooth step where you give it, I think, 2 numbers, and it will, on the one side of that boundary go 0, one side of that boundary go 1, and in the middle it will kind of smoothly interpolate between, assuming that your number is smooth. Anyway, let's try this. I just want to take a gander at post-processing and see if we like it. Create empty. Because the thing that I want to add, that I think is going to be the thing, might benefit from post-processing. So let's see if I can actually do this right on the first try, because I never do. As long as this is global and it's on the post-processing layer, and then we make a new post-processing effect and add something like bloom. Yeah, okay, great. I did it right the first time. What does this look like with the step? Gives it kind of a glowy arcade thing that I kind of like. It just looks like a blob here, though. Like a blobby mess. I don't think AO is going to add a ton here. Maybe it would. We a little bit, really the only place we benefit from AO is inside the pluses, I think. I don't think I want that. I'm going to say no to that. Draclin, how's it going? Glowing on the white? I could. We could make the white like an HDR value and then push it beyond. Is a definite possibility. Draclin, I saw there was new content for Don't Starve Together. Something about pigs and kings. Is that really new? Or is that old news? You're the resident Don't Starve Together expert. I don't know. I don't know if I really want any of this stuff, actually. Draclin inspired me on how to solve this problem. Let's not do post-processing for the moment, because I'm kind of into the cartoony version. Maybe we will do it on the lines. Actually, what was that new thing? Steam told me about it today. Don't Starve Together. Year of the Pig King. It's this new thing. Is it cool? Do I need to know about it? We talked about this. I played Don't Starve when it came out. I enjoyed it. I don't think I ever actually beat it, though, but I liked it. But I never did Don't Starve Together. I like the art style. I like the whole general vibe. Oh, just skins and items. I know. Okay, let's focus. We're going to focus here. Here's what happened. I have not known what to do with this thing. It was a thing that just started with like concept art without a concept. It was like, let's just make a thing. And I added some things. We added the deal where the sun can blow bubbles, whatever. Draclin made a suggestion that didn't really hit me until maybe late last night or early this morning about shooting stars. And I realized that that is what this whole thing should be. I think what this thing is going to be is that you've got the sun, you've got an array of objects in the sky, and when you do your little thing that the sun does to make something happen, you're creating a shooting star, and then when you let go of that thing, that shooting star will fly off and fly around, following some invisible path, and it will hit one of these objects, and then something musical will happen. So I think, yes, we're going to shoot Tom Hanks into the volcano. Exactly right. I'm glad you're paying attention. How is the latency now, Life is Yours? Are you happy with the latency setting? So, okay, oh yeah, I could just say ping and you could say pong. Or Marco Polo. Marco? Oh wait, Polo. Okay, you want to do it backwards? Pong. Polo. Wait. This is Marco 2. Oh no. Did you hear that? Can you hear that? I think the roofers are back to smashing things outside. Oh, good heavens. Okay, so what I think, man, I hope they don't get too intense with their stuff smashing. There was enough wood out there that I don't exactly know how I had a roof. Like there was a pile of roof up to my second story window. I don't know what their strategy is. It's apparently for some kind of seismic safety in case there's an earthquake, which I guess could happen. Mount St. Helens is apparently going to explode again. Mount St. Helens. Maybe. Is it really going to explode, or was that fake news? A suspicious death ruled a homicide. That's not the same thing as a volcano erupting. Okay, maybe the thing I saw about it erupting. It didn't seem like a very reliable source. I think we're okay. I think that there will not be a volcano eruption while I'm on stream today. Anything? Nothing? About 2019? Anybody? I think we're okay. If a volcano erupts, I'll let you know. If a volcano, don't worry, Life is Yours. If something happens with a volcano, I'll throw myself in it and appease the volcano gods, just like Tom Hanks. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you make the little thing. Maybe there's no dotted lines to start with, but the dotted lines, when you release the thing, it follows a path. Yeah, I'll stream it. Maybe I could wear a GoPro on my head. So how do we want to start with this? I think we had some little, hopefully they didn't break the stream. I always forget to do that when Oculus starts. Maybe we're okay. So what is we need just an easy test setup here. I need like a non-Oculus mode for this, first of all. So let's say this. If virtual reality is not on, I wonder how you can know that. Different elements and make different lights. Oh, different colors for different elements. Well, so I have all that audio helm stuff. And so I was thinking of bringing audio helm in. What I was imagining is like a outer space kind of weird music sequencer. And as you shoot and hit those, it will terraform the planet in some way and make it a new weird musical planet. It's kind of what I'm imagining. I don't quite know how the X's fall in, other than I just like the way the X's look. It could be that you just start with a bunch of X's and those are the initial targets. And as you hit those, planets are born. Maybe. If I want to come up with an excuse. Alchemy. It's not alchemy. This is real. This is really how it is. This is where elements come from exploding stars, right? So we want a couple things. We want our tracker thing. We want it to not actually, we don't want it to not work if input tracking isn't actually happening. So I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna assume that there's some static thing. Like, how do I know if tracking is enabled? Tracking acquired, tracking lost, node added, node removed. Like, I just want a way to say, like, is XR enabled? It's an XR node state. God makes stuff. Maybe this little sunshine is God. Maybe. Let's see. I just don't know how to say, like, hey, are you on? XR settings enabled. Is that all I need? That's what I was imagining. So we just want to say, like, if... Otherwise, don't do it. I don't know, you're getting pretty complicated there. Life is yours. Maybe you should start a new... Maybe you need a new religious movement. Okay, that works. And I thought I made a button. But I didn't. And the spawner? I probably turned it off. Yes. Yeah, okay, that was for the real. So really, we only want to do this if... we need... So only do this nonsense if this is all true. And then else, let's do this nonsense. So we can have an alternative to... Oh, they're smashing stuff out there. I can hear it. Why? Why do they treat me like this? Draclin, that's good to hear. How goes it with your little trade, with your trade simulator? Okay, I have... Something's wrong. We need to set the active state false once we spawn something. Just like force it false, maybe? Okay. So instead of launching our babies, those are babies. Those are called babies. Those aren't blobs. I don't know why they're called babies exactly, but that's what they're called. We want to, I guess, just have a bunch of hidden curvy paths inside our spawner. I think we can just have a spline and then just draw a spline. This is not going to go very well, but let's try it. I don't want to lock it to a plane. I just want to click and... kind of guess. It's so weird to try to guess. 3D positions. Okie dokie. Yes. Yes, we weren't too far off. Okay, so this would like come out of the sun, and then we want to sort of have all of them fly towards you slightly, and then go on a little fun adventure, I think. Oops. We'll work on this to get smoother curves. I think we want all of them to kind of, it could sort of be cool if they flew around you, and if they, when they flew, they made sounds. Be good. You have to go. What are you doing tomorrow? You working? Are you back to work? I feel like last time we talked, you were becoming an electrician. What is your current status? Do you have electrical powers? Are you a witch? Freelancer. Freelance witch? An electrician without an electrician job. That's fine. You're still doing stuff with electricity, kind of, right? MySQL involves electricity. Oh yes, right, of course, because you were battling MySQL. How could I forget? Well, have a lovely evening. Thank you for stopping by. And don't worry, as you can see, I'm doing a good job of distracting myself, so I will I'll try to carry out your tradition. Have a great night. Okay, so the idea, I think, is that we will just have a set of splines. That was a mess. Like spline A or something like that. And we will give that spline, we'll give a random spline to the baby, and then the baby will follow that spline. And I can't remember how to do that, but I think it's not hard. I think it's really easy. There may be even like a thing that's like a spline follower. It's easy, right? It's got to be easy. Should we go look at examples, or should we just guess? I think it's not hard. Let's look in plugins, Kirby example, scenes. I feel like there's a really easy one that's like the train. Is that how it works? Endless runner. Can't be that hard, right? Is there a simpler one? Let's just go through the simplest possible example. Seems to get very unhappy while I zoom in and out for some reason. So I think all we need is on one of these little spaceships, inner plane controller. So this has a spline controller script on it. This looks like overly complicated. On control point reached, on end reached, on switch. So seemingly we could just use this thing, at least to start with. Like you give it a spline and tell it to move along the spline at a speed. Let's just start with this because this seems really easy. We'll get a reference to the spline controller. We'll turn off play automatically. We'll turn off loop. We'll set events based on stuff. Yeah, piece of cake, right? Piece of cake. This looks like a piece of cake. So, Draclin, I need your Twitch expertise. I've been thinking about that challenge post Were you watching when I talked about that? I can't remember. I don't recall. So it's a thing. So forever ago, I did this thing for an Oculus challenge. It was like an Oculus sort of hackathon thing. And I'd considered doing an Amazon one more recently, but it's this place called DevPost, and they have these online hackathons. And I noticed that there's some new ones. I don't really care about blockchain ones. This thing. A Twitch extension challenge with a $15,000 grand prize. And unfortunately, I missed the first 2 months of it, but I feel like it wouldn't take me that long to write a Twitch extension. Can't be that hard, right? So I've been thinking, I've got a lot of things about to ramp up, but I think I would like to do this. I think I would like to work on a Twitch extension. The catch for this is that your Twitch extension has to use, let me throw the link in the chat. Your Twitch extension has to use an AWS service, but that seems easy enough. I guess like worst case scenario, you could just store some assets in a S3 bucket or something. If you just couldn't come up with a way to use anything else. So I've been thinking about this. And at first I was thinking like, well, maybe I could adapt some of the things we've already done on stream, like musical chat or things like that, and come up with a way to, or even chat raves or whatever, to turn those into Twitch extensions. But then I started thinking about that, and then I started thinking about, well, maybe it'd be cooler to do something. So my next idea, and I don't think it's quite the right idea, is based on this old thing. Let's see if this still works. Musical chat implemented on a Unity Twitch extension, but musical chat isn't the point? What do you mean? Oh, I see what you mean. Like build something more like a platform. Maybe. Does this thing still work? So this is a thing I did a long time ago with a guy named Lord Judah when we worked at a company called Superfad. And the whole point of this was sort of to say like, well, people come to my website to learn about me, but I would be interested in learning about them. And it's a little weird now because now you're like in the realm of data privacy and it gets a little weird. But the whole idea was like, just, it's one thing to look at Google Analytics and just see strings and numbers, but this was like, well, cool. Somebody in Arizona has been to my website. Somebody from Gilbert, Arizona, and I can look and I can learn about Gilbert, Arizona, and get Wikipedia articles about it and whatever. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to try to do something like this for a Twitch extension for a given stream, just so you can look and be like, oh, look, this is cool. Look at all the people. That was you? Is that you? Did I just dox you? Oh, no. Sorry, Draclin, I've just doxed you. If I didn't even do that on purpose, I was just kind of randomly clicking. But I think it's cool because it makes it, well, like especially in this case, it's kind of cool that there's all this data and you can sort of narrow it down to one person and be like, well, I would like to know about Gilbert, Arizona, and I can go look about it. So I was kind of thinking of adapting something like this into a Twitch context, because I don't think I've seen anything like that. Maybe I've just missed it. Some kind of geolocation from everybody on the stream. That gets really sensitive in terms of data privacy for sure. So it's something you'd want to opt into. But I think it could be fun and cool. But then the more I thought about it, so this was maybe like my most concrete idea. That's where it gets a little tricky, is the geolocation attribute. I mean, like, because I don't know, I'd have to look back at the Twitch chat API, but I can't remember if you can easily get their IP or not. If you couldn't, it could be an opt-in thing, or you get it from the web page or whatever from the Twitch panel. Then you'd need some geolocation service, which is kind of the most annoying part because Google Analytics does that for free. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I just can't remember if the Twitch APIs expose that in an easy to get way. But anyway, I think it would not be that hard to get the IP. Coming up with a really fast real-time geolocation service is a little more annoying and would probably cost a little bit of money at least. Like you could probably set that all up on AWS, but AWS itself, I don't think offers any geolocation service. So you'd have to have some third-party service. And some of that stuff seems not super cheap for real-time info. So anyway, this is kind of my current idea. But then the more I thought about it, like, I don't know that I think this is cool. And I think it would be cool, especially for bigger chats, like bigger channels, to be like, oh, hey, cool. Like, it's interesting to learn about the people that are watching. But then when I think about the problem that I have, and when I look at like the science and technology channels, there's just not a ton of viewership. And it seems like the creative-ish channels in general just don't have, they just don't have the viewership of the game channels. And so I was trying to think of maybe an alternate idea is a way to like help with discovery, like channel discovery in an interesting, cool way. I don't really have any ideas in that realm other than just very initial thinking. Marbles? Yeah, I was kind of surprised to come back with and see like the state that creative is in. It just feels weird. Like science and technology feels like a weird place to be doing game development, but I don't know. Marbles on stream. Let's check it out. Vix, how's it going? Marbles on stream. Is this the right thing? I should just go to YouTube, huh? Do you have any kind of secondary screen, Vix? Do you have like an iPad or Android tablet or anything like that? Because there are some tools to use secondary devices as a second stream. I experimented with them a little bit. I didn't find them to be super great, but it is possible. What am I looking at, Draclin? Which one? Chatters get their name tag associated to a marble, and all the marbles race on a track. There's some chat commands. Oh, okay, interesting. So the chat plays a game. I don't want to watch this ad. Get out of here. So that sounds, Draclin, not too, I mean, that sounds like kind of in the realm of the stuff we were doing with like musical chat and stuff like that. Like, but that's not I don't know that's not a Twitch extension. Is that a Twitch extension? Does that work as like a Twitch panel? I will look into that. I'm interested in that. I feel it's like slightly limited by the Twitch, it needing to be a Twitch extension. Just your phone. Vix, you can do it on your phone. There's like OBS control stuff from your phone. But I definitely understand. I tried to switch back from using 2 monitors to using 1 monitor because I feel like having 2 monitors is giving me neck problems, but I found it difficult to stream that way. And I had tried to do like using an iPad as a secondary monitor, but it didn't work super great. If you want some monitor deals, no, I totally got you. It's I think very useful to be able to see what's going on with the stream. Monitor deals, the 2 places I would look are Slick Deals in the monitors category, where you'd get like actually pretty good deals on new monitors. If you want like crazy deals, the Reddit build a PC sales sometimes has amazingly crazy. Something with a bean? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the bean. I don't know how Reddit works anymore with its Flare. I just want a monitor. What's going on with monitors these days? I kind of want some new monitors. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This deal is insane. It's from 3 months ago. It's no longer good, but what a crazy deal. It's a 2-pack of monitors for $100. 1080p monitors. But we want like new. $199 for a Dell 27-inch. 1080p on 27-inch doesn't feel great to me. That's a FreeSync monitor though for $200 at horrible Walmart. Okay, I don't see any deals that are just like obscene deals. Life is yours. You're supposed to be in bed. No, Drecklin, it was right around the time that I took a break that you were starting to work on that latency, on that latency experience. Newegg is still awesome. I would never spend. I don't spend money at Walmart. I don't like Walmart. You know what is another great, I really like Dell monitors in general, especially like if you need them professionally, I feel like the UltraSharp series is very good, but they sometimes have crazy factory outlet deals, and sometimes, am I gonna get in trouble if I do this on stream? Like sometimes Ebates will have an additional 10% off of anything you get at Dell, and then they'll be like Dell factory outlet. They sometimes have crazy good. Where's the Dell outlet? I know, ready for the shopping channel? I've been thinking about monitors also. Look at these coupons left and right. Outlet for home, outlet for work, monitors and docks. Don't be sorry at all. I'm kind of much more. I do so much streaming where there's no one in the chat. It is where I'm just rambling on, so it's nice to have someone paying attention. Like, look at this, a refurb 19-inch Dell monitor, 3-month warranty, $69. If you just need like a little, here's an $80 20-inch, like just a simple little secondary monitor, nothing fancy. Like some of these are pretty affordable. There's a 22-inch refurb. $23-inch for $100. I wonder what the resolution of these are. E2417. I don't know what the E series is. That might be like economy. It's probably not a great panel and so on and so on and so on. But if you have this and you have like an Ebates thing, it can be pretty handy. Yes, that's very understandable. What I would actually kind of like to have are these new things. This is just too much money. But Kickstarter portable monitor. There's a new one. It's not the Duo. This is a previous one. But it wasn't this one. I almost funded this, but I think I missed the if I had caught it during the early bird, I would have gone for it probably. I think it's this thing. It's too expensive just as a... Is this on? Yeah, these are pretty cool. Portable USB-C monitors with reasonable inputs. One of them is touch, one of them is 4K. Wait, is this still not the right one? Maybe this isn't the right one. There's so many now. This is not the one I'm thinking of. Is it? Now I can't tell. It is, because they have the full HD and the Ultra HD. So the 4K one I think is not touch. So when this is, it's a bummer, but if you got it like in the early bird stage for $159, you could get this, which I thought that would be a handy little thing for especially for the touch one. The 4K one, I'm sure it looks very nice, but the touch seems like a little more appealing. Man, even the early bird, these are all gone. So what can you actually buy? Pay full price now? You can buy multi-packs. You can pledge $1 for nothing. $200 for the full HD. That's too much. It seems kind of cool. It seems kind of cool, but you know. Yeah, now I will say, if you can come up with a cheap tablet, also, there's stuff like, there's a lot of these. I was disappointed with Duet, is the iPad one. But Splash Top has tools, has an application to just turn a tablet, like an iPad or an Android tablet, into a Windows display. I forgot what it's called. I mean, you could potentially even do it with your phone. Anyway, I think it's nicer to have a low monitor, though. What were we even talking about? I don't even know. We're talking about this, the Twitch extension thing. So yeah, I think the thing that I thought, no, don't be sorry at all. The thing that I would love to come up with something for this particular challenge would be something to help with discovery of cool Twitch channels that just don't get a lot of attention because everyone's watching Fortnite. Like, I think that would be cool. Now, I think the danger of that, I just got an email from Twitch that was them apologizing for something that they did that was what they thought. I just skimmed it, but it seemed like, oh, they were trying to do a thing to get viewers to look at other channels, but that made people mad because they were losing viewers anyway. So maybe I won't think too much about that. Maybe I'll try to do something like Mission Control. Seems like it could be a cool thing, perhaps. I don't know. I need to mess with it. I need to download all the nonsense. Okay, I think we understand this now. At least I'm gonna say that I understand it. And so all I think we need to do is give the baby I am not crazy about this. This kind of sucks. Like, I have to open this prefab if I just want to make changes to a script on it. Is that really true? I'm not sure that I like that. Draclin says no. Okay, please walk me through this. Okay, I'm in my scene, back in my scene. No, it's not in my scene. That's the problem. Like if it was in my scene, it would be okay and I could apply it. But this is a prefab that is designed to be instantiated at runtime. And previously I would just be able to click on it and mess with it in the inspector. If it's in my scene, it's okay. I then have to do like overrides. I assume I have to do overrides apply if I make some changes. Which I guess I understand why they, I understand why they did this in general, but I still feel like I should be able to make top level changes to it without having to go into a separate mode. Yeah, I could put the baby in my scene. But what I had hoped is that the new prefab workflow would mean that I would never have to just have, yeah. Which would be kind of the way you would have done it before, is you would have to drag the prefab in your scene and make changes and apply it. Although before you would be able to just click here and change a script on it. So this is a place where the new prefab workflow has like slightly less. Double click on the baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're right. It's not that bad. I just need to get used to it. I need to just double click and go straight to it. Okay, so the main thing is our baby needs to have a spline controller that won't have a spline yet. Yeah, and then our baby needs to know about it, which I assume that is going to be in like, what's the namespace of that thing? Any guesses? That was a weird thing to search for. Fluffy underwear.curvy. I thought it was going to have underwear in it. So that's kind of lame, because didn't I start to type fluffy? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I started to type underwear. Okay, in curvy. And then we want to have a... We'll just do like a set spline, I guess, and have... Because we won't have a launch vector anymore. We'll have like a private... And then launch instead of feeding it. Yeah. Maybe I don't even really need a local reference to it. Yes, I do. We also need to know about our Spline Controller. What's that called? What do I think that thing is called? Shh. Spline Controller. Where do you live? Because I want to set that spline at runtime. I hope I can. I don't really need a custom controller. I need a regular old controller. What's the I want like a scripting reference. Oh, is it in a controller namespace? So we need to be like controllers, spline controller. No? Where the heck was that? Fluffy underwear, curvy controllers. Oh, let's just import that as well. Yeah. Okay, get the spline controller, and then once we have... I don't know that we really... we don't. I don't think we need this. I think we'll just set it. I assume that there will be a way to set that. Oops. Something like that, and then some kind of play. Yeah. That appears to be a thing that could work. Why is this so angry? What's going on in there? Oh, because we're not going to give you a vector anymore. We want to give this a spline. So let's just start with eventually we'll have like an array of splines and we'll randomly select one and all that fun stuff. But for the moment, let's just say, we may as well do that actually while we're at it. Let's make a serialized field private list of type spline, curvy spline. Wait. And for simplicity at this moment, let's just send it the 0th spline. That'll launch the baby. I don't know why that's mad. Visual Studio, I don't know about you sometimes, or most times, or all times. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna have a spline. We will populate it in the inspector. We should probably do some null checks, but I'm not gonna. And because we'll robustify this. And then we will get the baby, and when we're ready to release the baby, we'll just ditch our reference to it, and we'll need something here. The Spline Controller has a bunch of events that we can tie into. I wonder if I can actually, now that I think about this though, nah, that's probably fine. I think it's fine. When you had a prefab down in your project and on the scene, you couldn't reach any of its child object. No, that was a bummer. That was annoying. I'm in principle into this. It's just gonna take a little getting used to. Kind of into it. Okay, so all we should have to do, this is cramping my style. This is cramping my style also. Okay, so we just want to say that our spawner knows about splines, and it will start with a spline. And maybe this will work. So we will fake make a thing, and then we will release it, and nothing will happen. We did great. Nailed it. First try. First try. What's wrong with the baby? So we made a baby. Oh, I probably didn't set a velocity or anything useful. I probably didn't tell this baby what to do. This baby probably needs a speed. Yeah. There goes the baby. Okay. And then that baby is going to fly off. And right now the baby loops. Okay. So let's the baby should never loop. My direction will be forward. Move mode. Let's just give it some numbers to start with, and then maybe we'll set those. Fly, baby. I know the baby. Goodbye, baby. I made a baby. There goes the baby. Okay, the baby crashing into our... The baby crashed. The baby crashed into that planet. What are we going to do about this baby? So, one problem... I have one problem in general. I feel like our near clip is way too big. Near clip, we want stuff to get real close to our face. So what does this do? Oh, I've never used. Is this all new stuff? Fancy. Focal length, sensor type, sensor size. Oh no. It made a bunch of changes and that's fine. What is this? Probably 60? Yeah. Okay. We should now be almost ready to launch our babies. Great. We made a baby, and the baby now lives in the belly of this planet. Okay, so the thing that we would need to do then, what do we want to do here? Let's give the baby, thought we did this at one point. We want to give the baby a maximum size. We'll make the baby little for now. Oh, look at that tiny baby. And there the baby goes. Goodbye, baby. That path is not great, just in general. It's not doing much for us. Okay, so we can launch babies to our heart's content. Now, I would kind of like to, I think an easy thing to do would be to give the baby a trail. Because then maybe that's how we'll end up doing the dashes instead of the goofball way we did it before. So much stuff here. Give it a trail renderer, and then maybe we could come up with a way. We'll do our dashed lines as a trail instead. This seems weird. Why do I not see the end? Okay, so I want this all to be linear. Okay, we got a little tail, and we then need to, this is a bad way to do this actually. Let's give it a, let's give the baby a baby tail. Why can't I rename the baby? F2. I click F2 and it goes into rename for a moment and then doesn't let me. So that's cool. Maybe it's a bug. Okay, tail. Let's put the tail on the trail. This is also not working in a way I would expect. What are you doing to me, Unity? Paste you. Okay, that should still work if I grab the baby. Yes. So we just need a material, and I have to remember how this works. That's super not how you spell that. Not even close. Not even slightly close. Okay. Trail. This will make it, whoa, black. So I guess we want to start with lightweight render pipeline unlit. Height. We'll give it a texture. I'm not exactly sure how some of this tiling stuff is going to work. So what's the correct and easy answer here to get something that looks like a dash? I think we're just going to have to experiment a little bit because I just don't know off the top of my head. And this may not be what I want to do at all. This may not be the right idea. That has a way too long of a lifetime. It needs like, or maybe it should be long. Why is it glowing also? That's another question I have. What's going on with you, prefab viewer mode? Okay, so let's get our friend Illustrator, this creep, and let's make a... Hello again, Scott. Have a great day. That's nice of you, Illustrator. Thank you. I hope you have a great day, too. I sort of wish you just didn't show any of this stuff. I kind of prefer it. I don't really like that. What if I was working on something secret or embarrassing, like this face? Okay, anyway. Make a new thing that is a 1K texture. Great. That seemed like it took longer than it should have. So, Illustrator doesn't snap to the center with guides, right? What if one day Adobe updated all its programs that they worked the same instead of completely differently? What would the world be like? So let's make this like 96540. That's not at all what I said. That's also. We're probably gonna want more of a gap than that. Something like this. And my favorite color. That dash is almost my favorite color. One of the things that's a bummer about the eyedropper in Unity is amazing because it can just eyedropper on anything. The eyedropper in Illustrator, not so amazing. Like I can just grab this eyedropper, I can move it over here to like Twitch window, whatever. I can do anything with it. Not so much with the bad Adobe eyedropper. Or I guess I should say the bad Illustrator eyedropper, because I'm sure they're all different. So this probably needs to be huge. And this needs to be our color. That sure didn't work. Why not? I don't know about this song. So, is this gonna look good or not good? Let's find out. That's a big texture. Man, I track on Adobe. I don't know what to do because I've been using Photoshop for like 25 years now. And so I just know all these things, but I don't like them. I feel like after 25 years, I feel like it should be better than it is. Instead, they just keep buying more programs. Like they just bought Substance Painter, and I hope they make it good. The one hope I have actually for Substance Painter, said this before, is that they don't actually change anything. They just make me not pay for it because I already pay Adobe so much money that if all the money that I paid them let me also have Substance Painter, that would be awesome. That would be the best thing Adobe had done for me in a long time. I'm lost. We need a shortcut. Unity assets, textures, dash. Okay. I don't really know what's going to happen with this at all. The trail does need to be transparent alpha. Where's the baby? This is not, that is not right. Texture mode is tile. Okay. Can I turn off that? How do you turn off the outline? I forgot. That looks horrible. What if we didn't shrink it at all? Make the life long again. We might have to play with the minimum vertex distance. There's something to that. It gets pretty gross. Oops. No, let me grab it. Huh. It really struggles sometimes, it seems, on corners. I think you can up the corner vertices, and that might help that out a little bit. But otherwise, it's kind of crunchy. Make it a bit wiggly, but I kind of want it to be graphic. You mean like animate in a wiggly way? Because I mean, ideally I want it to sort of match what we've done here with geometry, but just happen in real time with this dude. It really struggles. Maybe that's just because my hand is shaky, and it wouldn't struggle so much if I wasn't using my shaky hand. Well, yes, I think it would be cool though, because it's hard to describe this because it doesn't express well in 2D. The way the dash line looks when you're in VR and you see it in stereo and it's moving around looks pretty cool. And so I think if the baby leaves a trail like that, which and now should, let's see if the baby can leave a trail. Why did the baby not leave a trail? Okay, yeah, it's really having trouble orienting. I'd probably need to do towards view. Yeah, I kind of have to. Sure. Probably have to play with the minimum vertex distance, maybe. We might just end up writing this ourselves. What a mess. What's weird is I kind of would have expected that to, no. Oh, right. Oh, that's because I did something ridiculous. That was 1000% my fault. The tail is offset inside the baby. That's our problem. Okay, so that would help that. Although I'm realizing that we don't have to do this at all because we already, Oh, great. That was weird. I think it's because it was emitting before. Kind of weird that it seems so big here. So let's go back to the baby. Yeah, I'm torn on the duration. Either it needs to go away very quickly, like it's just a dotted line that follows, but like I'm trying to be maybe to a fault, true to like this original composition idea, and I kind of like the idea of it. You launch it, and then the trajectory of it is maintained for a while. I don't know. Now, if I did want to do that way, I could. So we have an alternate path here. Is if we just can't quite get what we're going for with the trail renderer, which has its own, has limitations, certainly. I definitely typed 0.5 in there, but it seems like Unity is not listening. Something looks like we're a little broken here. Maybe it's okay. Why are you so big? Oh, that doesn't change the width of the... Huh. I actually don't know the solution for that. That only changes the width, which makes sense, not the... the scale, if the U direction and the V direction, it's only scaling one of those, it looks like. I might be wrong about that. That's kind of what it looks like. Definitely don't cast shadows. Don't do any of that stuff. I think this would be better as a particle shader. Okay, so these dashes, sizable. That made our curves a little better, but they're still not great. They're pretty junky. It is kind of funny that it always tries to orient to our face, which I kind of like. Question is, how can I scale this in a way that doesn't suck? Because I don't think I can just scale the width, because it looks like the texture tiling... Distribute per segment, repeat per segment. I don't think that's what we want, because I think, well, maybe that's okay. As long as the segments are, oof, not good. Not good, not good. That's too many segments. Okay, so maybe the answer is to tile it, but scale it down. Let's make this really long. Is to scale it here. No, probably double it. Although I don't want repeating. So we'd have to turn repeat off, and then clamp should be okay because we're surrounded by alpha. But we'd probably have to do a weird offset thing. So we need to find our texture, this fellow, and say not to repeat, but to clamp instead. Oh man, I really messed that up. It's doing something crazy. So then the offset should always be half. Really hard to know without the wireframe. Oof, that adds, okay, those numbers were too high up here. It just really struggles with curves. They kind of fold back on themselves, it looks like. Which makes sense if you're rendering as a triangle strip. Can't I do shaded wireframe? Okay. Draw the baby. Oops. I made the baby far away. This seems like a hassle, trying to figure this out. I've ruined the baby. What did I do? Okay, so you should be tiling 1, offset 1. The baby is struggling. Why? Oh, it probably... Oh, I didn't think of that. It probably has to repeat. That's probably how it works. That's probably how it draws. Right? I bet we have to do that very thing. Okay, maybe we can do a combination of setting the width, and if we make the width, like make this 0.25, and then we need the Y, whichever it is. I assume it's Y. Maybe not. 4. Yeah, something like that. So you could offset it by having a fractional width. And okay, let's try that. I don't know. I'm just making it up. What are we doing? Hour and 22 minutes? That's reasonable amount of time. Okay, we make a baby. We shoot a baby. I kind of don't want the... I wish you could... I'm feeling more and more like a trail is not how we want to do this. Because I don't really want it to move. I want the baby. Oh my gosh, I've been raided. You're just in time for me to do a bad job. Welcome, Jessica Mack. Thank you for the raid. How's it going? Should we see what this thing is? You're in the middle of me fighting with my baby. The baby is what the little baby planet the sun makes is. Let's see. I'm doing a bad job with it. Sure, let's look at it. It's not even a game. It's a weird thing. So let's, for a slight bit of history, I drew a drawing a long time ago, like last year sometime. And then a few days ago, this little guy, I thought we should make a VR thing out of this guy. So we've been working on that. I'm doing well. I am having a good a good day. Thank you for asking. I'm slightly flustered. I've been in my own little bubble. So yeah, we started with this guy. We've been playing with some rendering techniques with the Unity lightweight rendering pipeline, etc., etc. But basically all this thing can do currently is just dance and shoot one baby. So let's just have a little baby party. I think we can shoot one baby reliably. So hopefully if anything is working, we can turn on VR and have a outer space baby party. Oops, no, we don't want that. We just want to turn this on. And we want to run this, and hopefully it doesn't break everything. Maybe? Maybe? My hand's tracking? I'm seemingly having outer space baby hand tracking problems. Wonder why. There, are we good now? Okay, great. We have a friend in space that really can't do very much yet. You gonna shoot out a baby? Yeah, so the idea is, I don't know what the idea is. We've been trying to figure out, can you see me wildly gesticulating as a space sun? Sure. We just started making this environment. We got this toon shader going that I think we're pretty happy with. We got this outline shader that was a pain in the butt, but seems to be working reasonably well. And then we started doing a thing where you could like grow, I don't know if it was going to be a planet or a sun, but it's just called the baby. And now when you let go of the baby, oh my gosh, where'd the baby go? We lost the baby. Oh, I got to do this. I have to pull this and then push the button, and then the baby should fly around. And right now the baby just flies over there and goes into that orange planet. And I was working on giving the baby a tail, but I think the idea is that all these pluses and planets will be like musical planets, and you will seed them. So you'll make your baby, and you'll send the baby off to a planet. Again, we can only go to the orange planet now. We'll add some new planets, and then they'll play music maybe, and then we'll have an outer space rave, maybe. I can't really shrug as this sun because the sun doesn't have any shoulders. That's kind of shruggish, right? Something like that. Or like all I was doing for the first few days was just having like outer space sun dances, like doing little. That's his signature move, by the way. What's going on in chat? That's the one problem being in VR. I have no idea what's going on with anybody. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's going okay. And I've been making. So I was streamed a ton last year and then had like a stream hiatus. And now I'm back. That's why I have no old streams in my queue. But we made lots of like weird VR music experiences. I should probably put those videos somewhere. Thank you. You are all very kind. What a nice group. So yeah, I think so the thing I was trying to do now, rather than just having these static dotted lines, is when we launch a baby, to have the baby leave the dotted lines, but that was not going very well. So you showed up right at a moment when I was doing a bad job. So that's the next thing, maybe. We could also add some new baby paths. Right now those paths are done with Curvy, where we just kind of statically define some paths in space, which I don't think is working super great. It'd be cool to have some procedural way to generate the paths, but that also sounds kind of hard. So I don't know, slightly undecided on that. But it would be pretty easy to just, make 3 or 4 paths per planet that we were happy with. Oh no. Something like that over here. So when we launch a baby, we can actually see where it goes. I don't know why you have to like touch the headset for the hands to work. That was a little better. That's a more interesting baby path, right? So we do this. Well, we can test it. Let's try the baby. Yes, please go eat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely evening, Jessica. Okay, so let's turn the baby's tail back on. And see how bad it looks. I think it does not look very good. And I think I maybe just decided that we should not be using the trail renderer. It seems like it's maybe poor choice. Who came up with this terrible idea? It was me all along. Okay, make a baby. Ooh, that's weird. We're starting to get a tail already. The tail's just so big. Yeah, that looks horrible. Once it's up, it doesn't look too bad. There's weird orientation things that aren't so great. The corners are awful. But it's a really easy way to draw a trail. So either the thing we got to do is make the trail not look horrible. Why is my right hand? I shouldn't punch the microphone. Sorry about that. We also should probably destroy the babies when they land on their planet. Okay, so some alternative possibilities are as follows. Hold on. That's a weird thing about Unity. I complained about this before, but on Windows, when Unity like blocks, it says hold on. It seems a little rude. I feel like I'm almost certain that on macOS when you do it, it says please wait, which seems a little strange. Why is the Mac version of Unity more polite than the Windows version? We may never know. Okay, this baby is partially bad because the tail has an offset. But I kind of feel like we're never going to make the tail look good. I kind of feel like it's always going to look bad. It is rude. Isn't that weird? Why does it do that? Am I making that up? I feel like I should go grab my laptop and just see if I'm actually telling the truth. But I think I'm telling the truth. Okay. So, alternatives for our baby path are as follows. Rather than using the Unity trail renderer, we already went through all this trouble to set up this instancing thing where we have geometry for the dashes and they're getting drawn with the outline. And I think they're drawing is not the best. It's definitely not as efficient as it could be, but it's not horrible. So all of these dashes are only costing us 6 batches and 4 set Pascals, and that's not too bad. So we are saving a fair amount with batching there. And a thing that we can do with this, I think, true or false? I don't know what speed means in this context. I'm still learning how to use Curvy, by the way. So I don't know. Maybe the devs don't like Windows. I'm pretty sure when Unity originally launched, which I think is now 10 or 12 years ago. Gosh, maybe 2007. I think it originally launched as Mac only. And so it could be that just somewhere deep in that history of Unity as a Mac only development platform, they have some secret hatred for Windows. Okay, so the cost of all these dashes is not too heavy. It's not great. And we could probably make it a little better if we optimized our shader better for GPU instancing. Because I think right now, actually, it's so bad. Yeah, I don't even have any of that stuff because we gutted that shader. But so what we could do is have those lines and just turn our dashes on and off as we went. And if I think we should be able to match that to a range, I think. So what I'm talking about would look something like this. So yeah, there's this range slider in the curvy, in the volume spots, which is the thing which it just is instancing the dashes along the spline, that we can do stuff like this and animate a start and end point. So we could set up if we could get if we felt very solid about our ability to draw these splines, and we'd have a finite number of splines anyway, we could just have the dashes animate like this as the dude animated forward. And by dude, I mean baby. Oh, come on. Listening to intellect, you're just listening to me. You're listening to nonsense is what you're listening to. The just to describe the two options that I'm looking at for drawing these dashes. One of the options is a physical dash object. So if we go look at any one of these dashes, it's like actual geometry that I modeled in Maya that probably has more vertices than it really needs. But it's a long story why. Anyway, it's a physical object, and it's the way this works is it's like draws a dash, draws a dash, draws a dash. Whereas the thing I was trying to do with the baby's tail just draws one single very long thin strip of geometry that is super computationally efficient, but is not great for various other reasons because there's lots of distortion, lots of other problems. And so I don't quite know I mean, excuse me, another option is that we could instance billboards. So as we went along our line, instead of trying to instance these pieces of geometry, we would just instance little quads with a texture on it. But that, I got to stop punching the microphone. Forgive me. That, I just don't know if that would look quite as good, because I think this looks okay. I'm kind of into the way this looks. I didn't love it at first, but it has grown on me. And the way we're doing it right now is so inefficient. I mean, relatively speaking, inefficient, because these are all totally separate objects. The one thing I don't like, however, is I like that we can animate beginning to end without changing any offsets. So like this thing where we just, like, you start with a dot and it draws that dot, that dotted line one dash at a time, I think looks pretty good, and I think could look pretty cool. The thing that isn't so great, seemingly, is that the range, when you offset the start, it kind of animates the whole path. You could probably figure out some mathematics to make it not do that. So in other words, come up with an offset that was exactly the right amount. I'm just guessing based on the size, but these are not, this is not the right answer. No, that wouldn't work anyway. We'd have to know the full length, and we'd have to know relative size. That sounds complicated. Sounds complicated. Which makes me want to not think about it for a minute. I think I want to table the baby tail discussion for the moment. So maybe what we do, let's do this. Let's make a baby. Let's make an actual baby that is just going to be kind of a teardroppy shape, probably, in Maya. And that will be our baby. And then we'll practice destroying the baby. And then we can practice making the baby make sounds. And I think that is where I would like to go. And then we will revisit this dotted line thing, because maybe I will come up with some brilliant plan. You could maybe do it with a particle emitter and emit the tail as particles, but that sounds hard and weird. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I kind of want the baby to be more geometric. So if we maybe started with a problem with an icosahedron, it doesn't really have a it kind of does. We can just reorient this, and then really the easy answer is just grab one vertex and pull a tail out. So if I wanted my icosahedron can I even do the thing I want to do? I think I can. I think it'll be a weird rotation. What are the... That's almost what I want. That's from the side. So that's okay. This may be a bad plan. Maybe I should start with let's start with the low poly sphere instead. I think this will be a little hard to get symmetrical. Actually, I think. So let's do just something like this, maybe. That's the way to start. And let's make it point along the z-axis. I think that's how we decided. That doesn't really look right, does it? Side X, yeah, I guess so. I think Z forward, I think it's gonna fly Z forward. I don't know. I guess we'll find out the hard way. Let's just start with this very simple idea. In fact, why am I in this? I should be in another project. Just put it with all these other dudes. I moved it, I forgot. Oh no, oh no. We could find it. I believe in us. I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. Oh man, it's clearly bedtime, 1:09 a.m. Well, thank you. I hope I'll try to lull you to sleep with something interesting. I could sing you a song. I could just be quiet and let this music play. I put in a new hard drive today and was reorganizing some documents and totally moved everything around and have to figure out where this project actually lives now, which I think it lives here. Miha, is that how you say your nick? Forgive me if I have it wrong. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can bore you to sleep with rendering problems. Is that the secret? Okay, so we want files, projects. Okay. Pardon me while I do a little bit. Meha? Yeah, I'm not sure that phonetic spelling is helping me. Ja? Is it Ja? Should we? We could plant things in your brain. Major. Oh, like Victoria Beckham says it. Great, got it. Like Major. Major. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see. So Maya, I'm distracting myself yet again. We want to set project to there. We want to open scene here. Don't save this. This is still called the baby. I've decided. At some point I was thinking maybe we'd call it something else, but it's called baby. Baby. Okay. Okay, we have the baby. That baby's way too big. Baby should not have that much of it. Oh man, you know what I kind of want to do is make a morph target so the baby starts relatively spherical, but when the baby flies, it grows a geometry tail. Although we're in like a cartoony cell shady world, so there's zero reason to do that because I could just do it with the trail renderer. Okay, let's just do this for now. We'll make things complicated later. No, I want a new material. Pong baby material. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Sometimes J's mean H. H. Depends on where someone is in the world, right? This is not a fair assumption. Okay. Let's just... Should we leave it geometric? Let's not. Let's soften it for now, because otherwise outlines are not going to work properly. That looks bad. Bad shading. We need more subdivisions to be able to do that. Well, that just looks gross. His little tail is just not doing well. Like a little space teardrop. We would need to do like not you, the baby. What's the right shortcut? Who knows? Not me. I'm having problems with this baby. Why is this valid until I get... Who knows? Who knows? Drackline, I don't know if you know this, but I've decided to just pretend I am a Maya expert and just don't acknowledge any time that I struggle with Maya. Just pretend like it never happened. This never happened. In fact, look, watch, this never happened. I deleted the baby. Never happened. Let's try this one more time. Let's do this. Z-axis forward. Radius was little. It seems like that did not respect my axis. Still looks pretty weird, but not like horrifically weird like it did before. Maybe it does. Oops. Okay, that baby, little baby blimp, that'll do for now. Maybe we'll do something weirder, Morphe-ish later. Morpheus? Baby, give the baby material, call baby material. Oh no, we're gonna have to find the Unity project again. Set Unity project is findable. Wait, Jay did mean H? Hold on. Mayha, it is Mayha. I fully lost the thread on this. I thought we settled on the Victoria Beckham Major. Mayha, okay. Mayha. We got it. Man. That made everybody leave. Everybody who was watching was just so outraged by my inability to say that name correctly. That's fine. That's fair. I don't blame anybody. Don't blame anyone one bit. Okay, let's go to models and get a baby. So the real question here is how are we going to do with our prefab? Is this going to work if I just change my mesh? We don't need a collider, I don't think. And we just change to baby. I know one thing that's going to go wrong. We forgot to scale it. Baby. I really should actually figure out a proper solution for that one of these days. Okay, so we have a baby now. Now we do not probably want to scale the baby at all because now the baby is very small. Make a baby. Okay. That's fair, right? So as long as we got the trail here, maybe what we do is just keep it for now. Don't texture it at all. And just make it short. Hello, Joe Philly. It's a little, yeah, okay. It maybe looks slightly more like a deflated balloon than a beautiful shooting star streaking through the sky. Fair. That's fair. Okay, but I think if we do, what do we want to do? We want a intense taper on this. We also want the lifetime to be way shorter. And then maybe this will give it like a nice glowing something. Yeah, okay, that's a little more shooting star-esque. I would make the case that it could still be way shorter duration-wise, probably half a second. We don't have to worry about any of this stuff anymore. What if this is truly the most efficient shader we could be using? I think it is. We could write our own little trail shader. Okay. That's kind of cute, right? That looks all right. I think it needs to start smaller. I'm feeling like this prefab workflow is making my iteration a little slower. Maybe if I lock this, I feel like I could iterate a little more quickly if I didn't have to constantly click and bring up the... it removed my lock. Like when I run, it comes out of that prefab mode. That kind of sucks. I'm not crazy about that. Okay, that was too small. I don't know. I really like to tweak things, and this is making it hard to tweak things a little bit. Okay, that's not a bad looking little thing. So, something that needs to happen with the baby is that we have to kill the baby. We have to kill the baby without destroying its trail renderer. So we'll have to like set a lifetime for the baby. It's time to kill the baby. So to do that, it seemed like Spline Controller had some on end reached. Where did it put that? Wait, I just told it to generate the method. Did it do it? Am I not seeing this? No, it's here. Okay, great. Yeah, right in front of my face. It is a curvy spline movement event. End reached. I don't really want it here. Why do I need system? Oh, because it wants to throw an exception. That's fine. Let's have these for various callbacks. So when the end is reached, I think we just want to destroy this game object, and I think we need to wait 1 second because we need to let the trail finish drawing. And if we were being very robust, we would get that amount of time from the trail. Does this actually have to return something? Interesting. What does it want? Oh, I did. You're right. I did. I didn't even mean to do that. That's how it was. Thank you. That's what I get for being lazy and using the Visual Studio Code thing. Oh no, but look, it wants that. It has to do that. Spline. What? Am I not doing this right? Oh, I need to do this. What's the syntax for this? Why am I forgetting this? I thought this was a delegate. That's the word that I want. Isn't that what I want? It's not a delegate. The event raised. So this just gets called. Okay, so this is just a property that stores it, and then this will get run. So I could just set it to whatever. Like I can be whatever I want. I don't even need. I was saying it was a delegate. I don't know why I assumed it was a delegate, but it's not. What if I just did a push F12 on the property on this guy? Oh, to go there? Oh, to go to definition, you mean? Yeah. So it's just a property. So I just need to set that property, and then that property push F12 again. Wait, where? On curvy, on the curvy spline move event. Dracon, just remote in and just take over my mouse. A Unity event. Oh, right, because that's how you do the thing, because that's how they're doing it. That's how you do. In fact, I mean, we could do this really lazy way. In because this has you know, the thing here where the events are exposed like this. I thought these worked like delegates. Am I just remembering that wrong? So I had to add a listener. Is that what I'm hearing here? Add listener, is that the secret? Yeah, okay, I got it. I got it. I remember now. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Yes, so I just need here. And then I can just give it whatever I want. Yeah, just a method name, right? Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Can I do that? Will it magically do it for me? Now do it. Where did it put it? Here. Okay, great. This is what we wanted. This is all we wanted all along. I forgot how to do that. Maybe because I just never do that. Okay. I don't know why I just assumed that it was a delegate. Maybe that's just because, I don't know why. Maybe that's how things have been working recently. But now, Draclin cracked the code. I don't like this. I don't like it as much as, I like delegates better, I think. Right? So, now this guy should self-destruct. So maybe when that happens, we instantiate a particle emitter or something, like have a little blow up. Or maybe we already have a particle emitter inside the baby. Let's do that. Let's make a simple little spewy particle emitter that lives in the baby. That sounds gross. Sounds gross. Jacqueline, thank you for your help. Appreciate that. Baby. So, baby has a tail. We'll give the baby a boom. I'm not sure about this prefab mode. I can't rename things. It's really weird. Like, it almost seems like it just seems like a bug. Okay, let's give the baby a boom. We want this boom probably to be we don't really want any emission over time. I think we just want to we may just do that manually, but for now, let's add a burst. Every second, maybe. Okay, and we want this to have something like our star material. This will just be our boom, not whom, boom material. Boom. Oh, I never actually really made a sprite for that. That's just the stupid knob. Let's do that real quick. Oh, we're at it. This needs to be not very big. Oops. Wrong shortcut. I don't really need transparency, but it doesn't hurt. That's our star particle, also known as our star tickle. Gross. That also sounded gross. So we have a star, and we'll do the star instead, and that will look a little nicer. The alpha is not great. So I think what we want to do actually instead is not do alpha and just make the transparency black. And I think this will look nicer because then we will just get the alpha from the grayscale. Like this. No, I don't like that. I thought that would be better, but I was wrong. I was dead wrong. I mean, we could really make this right and make a TIFF with the real alpha channel instead of fake transparency channel. But I'm going to say this is okay for the moment. Because they're going to be tiny. Okay, so those are definitely wrong. And way too big and can be so tiny. And we probably want this to be a cone that faces the other way. And has speed variation. And the cone will be very little radius at the bottom. We want more speed variation, I think. And Probably some size over lifetime, but the exact opposite of this. This. And 180 on the y-axis. That might be okay. Let me start with that at least. So the thing we need to do is fire that. Can we do, if we could just emit, I wonder if emit is a thing that you can do here. Like if we just gave it the boom and then on the particle system, gave it an emit with an integer of 32, then we wouldn't even have to do anything programmatic. That'd be kind of cool, right? So what we would do, we would just get rid of this. That emit would not be good though. That emit would emit them all simultaneously, so that would look bad. What we really want is a... No, I think it would be okay, actually. I think it will be okay. We want to get rid of this burst, and I can't remember how. Like that. Let's try this. I wish you could stay in the prefab solo mode. Okay, so that was okay. The biggest issue I think is that we don't need to go into the planet. We need to just stop at the surface of the planet. Well, don't move the planet. I guess I could move the planet. Wouldn't really hurt anything. Right? Something like that. Jacqueline, we gotta do something for this, for that Twitch thing. That still looked like it went inside the planet. Did that? What did I do? That did not look correct. Okay. That looks like it's on top of the planet. That looks like it's on top of the planet. That was very strange. So we need to like turn the game object off also, because we don't want to see the baby, but we also don't want to turn off its child. We don't want to turn off the trail. That looked like it hit in a weird place. It seemed like it hit more on top than I was expecting. Let's try that. That looks okay. So what is the path of least resistance on this? I feel like we could just turn the renderer off on the baby. Maybe at some point we'll go in and do all this programmatically, but just to make things so easy, what if we brought in this and did mesh renderer and did not enable mesh renderer? Jacqueline, are you working on your game right now? Or you're playing Rocket League or something else cool? If I just let's change the way those particles are drawn, actually. I should not be using that. I should be using the lightweight render pipeline particles unlit, probably. The following particle system renderers are using this material with incorrect vertex streams. Press apply to fix. Apply to systems. I don't know what that means, but what does that mean? I don't know what it means. Okay, let's ignore it for the moment. I haven't done any of the particle stuff in the lightweight render pipeline yet. Additive. Oh yeah, that looks super broken. Definitely broken. Custom vertex streams seems like it should be okay. Both Star and Boom should be using our new looks very broken, quite broken. Better, maybe. Still confused by this error message. Required vertex streams, position, color, and UV. Here's our stars, and our custom streams are position, color, and UV. So I'm not sure if that error is just erroneous. Is it an erroneous error? It seems possible. Oh, that looks better at least. And presumably I can have multiple spline controllers with the same spline. So I could launch multiple babies on a single spline, maybe? I feel like I'm having slight brain problems. How long have we been streaming? 2 hours, 14. Oh no, I was just wondering, man, I was just wondering when this was gonna happen. If Backblaze was going to turn on again. I have to come up with a real solution for this. Okay, sorry about that. I had a feeling like something bad was happening, and it was Backblaze stealing all my bandwidth. So here's the thing about Backblaze. You can go into its settings and start it back up and then pause that back up, and then it will pause for 2 hours, and you only get 2 hours paused. But if you stream longer than that, you're in trouble. So I've been thinking of writing like an OBS extension maybe, or a I don't know, OBS plugin or script, I guess, that would automatically turn that off. That seems dangerous. It seems like I would definitely break something if I did that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But it's a hassle. It's really annoying. Especially since you don't know that something bad is happening until the bad thing happens. It's really frustrating that you can't set your own time. Are you listening, Backblaze? No, they're not listening. Okay, I think that looks actually kind of charming and nice. I don't like the color But I think we just remove that. I think we just stitch the color because I don't think we really need it. We were doing set hue. I don't think we want to do it. We might still do the baby size where we scale the baby, but color wise, I think we'll just come up with a color we like. Not that color, probably. Even though I love that color. Just shooting missiles right out of my face. Okay, so I'm not going to stream for too much longer, but I think I will add a few more splines for our baby. At least we'll build the random spline selection because that will not take long. We will just have to throw in a few more splines. Our spline situation is getting pretty something. I guess the easy answer is to just turn off splines. We're not working on them. And then maybe next time we start working on the sound. And so I want the baby to make sound while the baby flies around and flies behind you and all that good stuff. And I want the planets to make sound and probably play continuous music once they're activated, I think is the answer. So let's just be lazy and duplicate our spline, turn off the old one for a minute, and let's just make it so it hits the front-ish of the green planet. Not even close, not even close. So weird to drag things in 3D space. In this case, the front being this side, I guess. That doesn't seem right. That can't be true. It's got to be this side, yeah. Okay, and then that seemed right. I don't know. I was very arbitrary in the placements of these things. So that's going to hit sort of the front side of it. That seems fine. This one could like fly a little further into the distance maybe. We do still want it to sort of fly forward away from the sun though. Maybe up this time. That'll be a start. Okay, so we have a spline A and a spline B, and how much overhead there is just to showing splines, but hopefully not a ton, I would imagine. So let's give it 2, and then previously we had just said pick the 0th spline, but instead we will do something like this. If I don't know what we do if there's no splines. Just panic, I guess. Oops. And then we want something like a spline index equals random.range. Anywhere between 0. So max is exclusive. So we can use splines.count, right? That should give us an integer. What do we do otherwise? That should never happen. It would never happen. I'm gonna try to solve problems we don't have. There's a real weird zig at the beginning. Oh, that's an important thing, actually. I need to make it so... That looks pretty good, actually. Kind of into this. So there is a problem where the first control point of the spline, it's kind of jumping to that. So we got to figure that out, because we'd ideally want that always to be between the two hands. And so that's probably okay. We could even throw probably a little bit of animation on these control points, just so it's always a little different. So the start and end point would be the same. Okay, let's add one more spline. This is actually, I'm kind of getting into this. It's pretty good. This was all Dracklin's idea when he said the word shooting stars. Yeah, it seems like there's an uncomfortable jump. We just need to figure that out. Which may mean that we have to track, we need to have all of those origin points for all those splines track to the center point of the hands, because that's where the baby is birthed. Okay, spline C shall be the purple planet. And what I think happens with the purple planet is that it lands on top. Kind of comes up from behind. Kind of would be a little easier to visualize if I could see these control points in game view as well. I feel like it would make it a little easier to compose the scene. So this guy will have kind of go up and over, maybe. This looks like not a great path. That's a start. This is easy to tweak later. Okay, let's add a spline. Turn on these splines. Let's turn on our dashes again, although I have to say, I didn't really miss them while they were off. But I like them. In the end, I like the dashes. Okay, you go there, you go there, you go there. Oh, excuse me for punching the microphone. Okay, we come in pretty hot on the purple planet. The splines look insane. But I think it's time for me to make some space babies. Figure out later what the scale means. I don't really know what the scale means for our space babies. Okay, the origin points of all these are kind of not great. They're too high. There's going to be a jump. You almost want them to, like, I don't know, there's a couple ways I could think of doing this. One is to have it sort of slowly interpolate, like float into the... Did I just punch the microphone again? Outrageous. Like just sort of lerp to the start point and then animate from there, but it seems like that'd be hard to do seamlessly. It seems like the easier option, if it is possible, is to just animate those control points, which I assume you can. I don't think there's anything that requires those to be static. Okay, so let's do it. I hope it works. We got our friend. Can't see the controllers. Okay, so we can make We should not turn on the trail renderer until we launch. Good to know. Just set it's emitting to false until we launch. Also, it looks like it's pointed at us, maybe, instead of away from us. It's a little hard to tell. But, whoa! It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good when they animate. Pretty into it. They look kind of cool when they zoom around. So the worst part is that first little, the leap from where it spawns. So this is not good, obviously, but that's easy enough to fix. But that hard angle that you get where you jump from the spawn point immediately to the origin of the spline. Oh, excuse me. I was just lulling myself to sleep with an astro lullaby. Also, it's ridiculous that there's stars this close. Stars in front of the planets. Absurd. I think the stars look better with their star texture. Just need to make the outer radius of those. Just make a shell of stars. Which I think I kind of have, but the shell is just not big enough. Well, this may be what we may call it a day on this. Draclin, hello. It's pretty good. You get the credit for saying the word shooting star. That's what this needed. It needed shooting stars. That was the missing part. So now we have to make the shooting stars look good and sound good and do something interesting and fun. And then that's what we need. Right? I think. Yeah. So I feel like we're in good shape, right? So I think I'm done for today. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Thank you to, of course, Draclin, Life is Yours, Fix. Thank you so much to Jessica Mack for the raid and everybody who came along, like Joe Philly and Mayha, not Major, but Mayha, a little different. We will continue streaming this. I'm really going to try to not do the thing where I get excited by something else and stop in the middle of a project because I want to move on. We're going to at least get this to where it can be released to the world in some form, even if it's just as a little noisy toy. So I think that is it for today. Also, we got to figure something out. Draclin, we got to figure something out for that Twitch extension. That's probably one too many things to try to do in the month of February, but I think we're going to try to do it. So, yeah, again, everybody, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed the project, and I will see you all soon, or you will see me. You will see me all soon. Right? I pushed the wrong button. That was supposed to be my dramatic exit. Ruined it. I blew it. Bye.